Welcome to the Beacon by Soul 33 teachings for your past, present and future. Good morning everybody. It is the 22nd of July here in Auckland, New Zealand. We have another week. If you're listening to this on YouTube, on Spotify, on the app, please don't forget to do all the things to support what I'm doing for everybody, which is trying to grow this app so that everyone has access to me and to my healing and to soul progression anywhere and everywhere. So all of that helps. And of course, your subscriptions are all on the link to renew or become a member separately so that we do not have to charge you triple the price. It's only $60 a year. So if you need any help, you know who to go to, Kieran@soul33@gmail.com, and I'm so grateful for your support. I can't actually believe it's the 22nd of July. We're actually in the last week of July, and I've had some really fascinating things go on in this last week. The beginning of last week, I don't know what was going on for all of you, but for me and for the people that I have in my life, it's been a challenging week. I have been very, very stressed, very emotional. Like my emotional capacity has been at its capacity and beyond because I'm supporting a lot of people in my family at the moment. But I was putting how I was feeling towards the Monday mantra. So those of you who are listening to this, remember that I've been doing a Monday mantra for years and it helps me. This is why this is like a confessional diary for all of you, because I look at what Spirit tells me, apply it to my life so I learn the lessons and I'm not feeling like I'm not achieving anything in life or that it's all for nothing. You know what I mean? We want our life to be for something. Last week, our Monday mantra was, I'm a magnet to receive and express myself fully. I'm a magnet to receive and express myself fully. So I think it was the week before, Goddess Isis came in and gave us that plate to put within us, but didn't activate it until last week. So it was all like this part of this initiation. And when I really looked at the words of the Monday mantra, I'm a magnet to receive and express myself fully. It wasn't about law of attraction, attracting abundance and attracting all of that. That's all the underlying. But what it was the lessons to be able to express, whether it's verbal expression, whether it's written expression, creative expression, sexual expression, whatever it is. For me, it was verbal and it was written. There was a lot of time I spent having to structure messages and I was like the in-between for so many people last week, and this is not work related, this is personal, where it took hours and hours and hours of mental capacity trying to articulate the truth, and it was really difficult. And then I realized that the magnet that we've been given are lessons for our soul progression, and it's guidance for us to be able to take charge of our situation in our lives. So I found myself in this in-between position where I had to take charge because nobody else had the capacity to do it because we're all at our limits at the moment within the family. And I had to step into places that I actually had to express is not actually my place to step in. But then I realized actually it is, because I am finding myself in this position where I'm needing to express myself fully. How did that pan out for you? There's a lot of family things going on. It's not just with me. There's a lot of familial dynamics changing. There's a lot of people that are fighting over things, that are holding on to things that may not belong to them, or they're trying to figure themselves out and how their position is in the family now that something has changed within them. So what familial changes are happening for you within your family, and not even just your immediate, your extended family, like your cousins and uncles and whoever else, in-laws. There's just things going on here that are making us need to express ourselves in order for us to progress. And that magnet is bringing those experiences to us, which may be in the form of challenges, but actually it's giving us growth. So Spirit said to me, we're attracting things to take charge of situations in our lives, and finding new ways to communicate, changing what and how you say things to get the change you are looking for. this was unbelievably accurate for my life, because I had to communicate with one party, another party, and another party, and everybody else was trying to avoid each other. So what is it that is going on with you where things haven't been heard? You are now needing to take charge. You might be rejected or put down, or the person may not be able to understand. Put down meaning like they're putting your needs way down the list, like, excuse me, it's all about us. And I'm hearing the word entitlement at the moment. And so the word entitled is that we shouldn't feel entitled, and others also may be projecting their entitlement onto you, whether it's entitlement of opinion, entitlement of judgment, entitlement of things. I'm not sure how that's going to apply to your life. I know exactly how it's applying to mine. Were you heard last week? Being emotionally stable. Gosh, I can talk. I'm feeling emotionally stable now, but the first few days of last week, the emotions were high. My integrity was challenged, not by my own actions, by someone else that I know that really upset me. And I had to come back to a place of balance to be able to communicate from that place of love, rather than I wanted to be defensive. I wanted to really be quite cutting with my words, but I remembered Spirit's words and the card that came up later in the week, which we'll talk about shortly, that we need to come back to that emotionally stable place if we want to balance out facts and stability. So there's factual information being given to us, but it's all coming back to be at a place of stability. We wanted to remain adaptable. We still do, because remember, our Monday mantras transfer one week after the other. That's why if you've missed out on some or you haven't listened, go back and listen, because it all still applies. We want to be adaptable and take charge, but also feeling free to choose how we do things rather than being controlled. I am finding that I'm speaking for the vulnerable at the moment, and you might be too, in your own way. Maybe you are the vulnerable one, not victim. That's not what we're wanting to be, but vulnerability is also a form of expression. Who do you need to communicate with love and vulnerability to express yourself? Not with anger, remorse, judgment, or in a way that is going to be overly emotional. I processed all my crying and my emotions first, and then I dealt with it very stable and professionally. Sing your own song. I found myself singing a lot last week, just singing along to music. I was listening to a lot of music, and I found that was opening my throat chakra a little bit more to be able to communicate in a tune. Like when we listen to music, sometimes, I know with me, the types of music that I listen to, the lyrics may not be that great. Sometimes the lyrics are wonderful, but it's the tune that gets you in. Like, how are you speaking? And I notice that when I talk to clients, the way that I speak, my cadence, everything changes depending on that person, because they need to understand a tune that is that resonates with them. But at the moment, it's singing our own tune, because we all have a different way of talking. We all have a different way of projecting our voice. And when this Goddess Isis initiation occurred for all of us listening and watching the Monday mantras, we need to trust that it's whatever challenges is actually helping us to reap abundance that's there for us. And I'm not talking about exclusively financial abundance. It could be for you, but the abundance of, which I'm going to talk about this week, freedom. There will be many signs this week through messengers in all forms to tell you that you're on the right track. Oh my God, so something amazing happened to me. Amazing things happen to me all the time. But because I've been so stressed with things that are actually not my personal issues, the things happening around me that I'm trying to help everybody out with, I've been exercising a little bit more than usual so that I'm getting the stress out in other ways. And I've been walking when I can. It's very rainy and dreary here in Auckland, New Zealand at the moment. And I went for a beach walk on Saturday. And, sometimes Spirit will show me things that I'm like, what does that mean? So I was walking and I looked at a wall, and through my third eye, I saw a peacock feather. And I was thinking, I asked my guides, I said, what is this for? And they said, Lord Krishna is around you. Lord Krishna is around you today. So this is July 20th. And I was like, okay. And I, naturally don't know a whole lot about Krishna in my head at the time. I carried on my walk. And I came home and I told, my partner, I said, look, Lord Krishna is around me because he's showing me the peacock feather. And then I Googled it. When is Lord Krishna's birthday? The 20th of July. He was born 3000 something BCE. So some are saying it's the 20th of July or the 21st of July. But still, it was bang on the date. And I was thinking, okay, Lord Krishna is around me. Then I came home and pulled a card. And I've got it here to show you. Krishna. And I was thinking, okay, Krishna's not just coming in for me, he's coming in for all of us because I work for them and I also work for you. I'm always the in-between person. The official Lord Krishna festival is August, which is coming up, but his actual birthday is the 20th or the 21st of July, 3228 BC. And so Krishna was coming in to support me and support us. So right now, I'm bringing him in his energy through the peacock feather which represents spiritual truth, to be able to shine, to be able to allow yourself to be heard and to be seen. And that is really important this week, that we understand, like the card Krishna in the interpretation of whoever created the cards is devotion. And it actually ties into this week's energy. I haven't quite used that word, but it's around the same track, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. As I saw many signs during the week, it was like, even though things were challenging, it started to lighten up because I could feel Krishna is giving this as guidance to all of us, that who and what we are committed to is really beginning to show. Okay, so you're going to see whether people are actually committed to themselves or committed to you. Again, coming back to loyalty, which I was talking about last month. As we moved through the week, the love card came up. And love is what activates the magnet to receive and express fully. How you love, what you love, who you love amplifies our expression. And it's received by yourself and the world and who you relate to if it comes from a place of love. So the love card was selected because we're being reminded to operate from the heart and do what you know you can live with, be how you want to be treated. Everyone is trying to be heard right now. Some are expressing themselves from the place of the victim, but we are meant to come from that place of love, from truth, from being our fully expressed self that is going to be fair for all. When it comes from a place of love, things are not only heard, but they are felt, because you can feel if someone is coming to you, even when we have hard things to say. I never accused anybody with the communication that I had. I just asked questions. Why is this coming up for you? How are you expressing yourself from a place of love? Because you and I are all leading ourselves in our lives, and we need to be leading from that place of love in all forms, including self-love, which I had to up so that I could feel stable to do everything else in my life, because there's extra pressure at the moment. So this card of love came up because we needed to be reminded that the love is at the source of all that you receive. And if you express from a place of love, you will receive this in return. It may not be immediate, but it will come back. The extended meaning of the Monday mantra. Taking charge means receiving experiences for us to learn how to communicate and reframe what you want heard. When it comes from a place of love, what you express will reveal the truth. I saw that Teal Swan. So those of you who don't know Teal Swan, she's a very well-known spiritual teacher. She's gone through a lot in her life, and she does a lot for the people that seek her out. And it was funny because she had actually put a quote up around reframing. So I knew that we were, all the healers will be getting this type of guidance if they're all, the true blue healers. She framed it from a place of making sure that you're not reframing to gaslight or perpetuate your own story. So that was an interesting way to think about it, because it's coming from the head of the victim, whereas I was coming from the place of when we're in the light, we get to reframe to ensure that it's coming from a place of love. So that was another way to look at it too. And depending on where you are all at on your journey, you're either going to be reframing from a place of love and from a place of fully expressing yourself in a truthful, beautiful way, even when it's hard things, or it's going to be you're reframing to perpetuate your story as a victim. I have seen both in my week that's gone by. It has been a real week. I know that disruption energy, which I've been talking about a lot. I mean, even the stuff that's politically happening in the States, even though I'm not politically inclined, it's evident that all this disruption is coming back for us to find our stability again in some way for the individuals involved and the greater good. I had very fascinating clients last week, very interesting soul stories. A lot of people stuck in slavery and victim energy that were coming to me for that to be released. I saw people needing to reframe their story and who they are, and they're deserving of love in order to lead themselves to a place of victory. And I feel like this is something that is very evident in all of us at the moment, wanting to feel victorious, but not from a place of putting people down or making them feel bad, just doing what is right. And that may involve sometimes saying all the hard things, but in a loving way. Lots for you to think about. Write in the group chat. The group chat is there for you to express yourself on how it's playing out in your life. The Monday mantras, if you're meditating, you're fully on this journey and committed to it and devoted to it as Lord Krishna wants us to be, you will understand exactly how the Monday mantras are playing out in your life, what they're asking you to do, what they're asking you to look at. So those of you that are seeing it easily, you are in alignment. Those of you who are new to this, apply it. See how you can become more of that to progress, because when we learn the lesson, we don't repeat things over and over again. Remember, I'm always here for you, but I am only one person. I'm doing my very best to cater to everybody's needs, but also just make sure I'm fully topped up to give you my all. If you need to go on a wait list, which is my suggestion, just email Kieran. She'll tell you what's going on and what the best service is for you. But remember, loads of you are getting personalized meditations, because building up that library is going to have you have access to me and my energy that is specifically for you, because then you will be able to get the energy shift that you need on whatever topic you've either chosen or that you've allowed me to pick for you. Mini readings, your 3 brief questions if you're needing some immediate guidance, and I'm doing a few soul magics here and there, and Kieran will advise you. And don't forget, your app subscription is only $60 a year, not $25 a month. And Kieran is the person to email about all of those things, soul33@gmail.com. Let's get on to this week. I have the freedom to have what is rightfully mine. I have the freedom to have what is rightfully mine. When I got this message, it's about the birthright. It's not about entitlement. It's not about being a victim. It's not about being a perpetrator. It's about your birthright to abundance, your birthright to be loved, your birthright to do what is right by people who are being persecuted or that are in a vulnerable situation, such as small children, people who are differently abled, elderly, all of them, everyone, people who are even able-bodied but have mental vulnerabilities, which we all do from time to time. And this is what Spirit meant. We've just had a full moon, And it's still the full moon energy if you're listening to this in the earlier part of the week. And the full moon, I again was feeling all the full moon letting go stuff at the beginning of last week. So for me, it always comes like a week earlier, so that I'm an empty vessel to receive the healing from the full moon. But it's really about full growth mode. And we know to grow, it is painful. Like even just growing anything, it takes time. Sometimes there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into things. To grow, we need to release the dead weight that has been holding this down. And this may be in the form of sabotaging feelings, not even ourselves. It could be somebody else trying to sabotage. Resentment, not even within yourself. It could be somebody else. Self-doubt, not even in yourself. It could be somebody else doubting you. And that, so you need to apply that in all areas of your life. But everything that has been coming into our lives is to teach us. Everything is a teacher. When I see clients, you are a teacher for me. I'm not just a teacher for you. We have been having this full moon energy to lead ourselves to more power and strength, and let life keep teaching us by building up our strength. This is beyond resilience. This is about really being strong. What I have learned through everything that's going on in my life is to keep going, enjoying aspects of my life, even though some things are challenging at the moment, because that is what life is sometimes. There's this polarity where we have to still keep going, being strong to deal with all the things and heal all the things, but also to just keep living, being committed, being devoted, trusting that we're being guided, trusting it's teaching us, trusting it's freeing us, which is what this week's energy is about. There's a bit of a restless energy at the moment. It's this feeling of like anticipation, and it could be in the form of anxiety. Like often I don't get personal anxiety, but I get it when I'm feeling other people's energy. And you might be wanting to do things impulsively, but the guidance here is to please make calculated decisions. Last week, I could have been completely irrational because my emotions were so heightened, but I had to stop and go, okay, how do I actually want to be perceived, and what is the song that I want heard on the other end? Don't do things from a place of pain, but rather out of persistence. So persistence and devotion are interchangeable this week. I know that persistence can be perceived as negative because it sounds like nagging, but it's not. It's about we have to be persistent with things, which is a form, the spiritual term of devotion can be used in its place, because that is actually going to show us that our commitment is being recognized. Our commitment is helping us achieve what we need to achieve for the freedom, however that is going to be applied to your life. Stick to your plan so you can handle more in your lives and work through the pain spots. What is your plan? Your plan may be just to get up in the morning and get on with the day and just your checklist. Your plan may be a greater plan. What is your plan? Stick to the plan, because remember, life will throw us off the plan, but then we need to know how to get back on. And that's why even when I set homework, it's for you to do the exercises if you wish, but also to know if you fall off the wagon, there's already things set for you that is for the energy of the week. The analogy Spirit gave me, which I thought was really weird, but it's what they gave me. You know when children have teeth, they lose their teeth and then teeth come through their gums, and parents or guardians will be like, oh, my child is teething, they're just so restless and their cheeks are red. The analogy was this: teeth cutting through gums. And this may mean dental issues from some people, because sometimes it's quite literal messages, but how I was perceiving it is that the analogy here is that we need teeth. Like, I like having nice teeth. It's important to me to have nice teeth, not just aesthetically, but I don't want to have any pain in my mouth. I don't want to be able to not enjoy food. So I've put here, we know we need teeth and we use it to enjoy food, but most importantly, the primary function is to fuel us, because back in the day, we weren't eating for taste and flavor and joy and happiness. We were eating to survive. And it's worth the pain having teeth, worth the pain of the teeth cutting through, because we need them. So there's going to be an analogy with that. As I'm talking, Spirit's asking me to remind you about the third eye tarot that I received before I came on to record last week's message, which was the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Wands, I believe, right? And that was about, because I was trying to apply this to my life, and I was thinking, okay, that's an opportunity card, a growth card. And I realized it's all coming back to the beginning. It's like karmic cycles are starting again so that we can grow from that. And also the ones can represent many different things. Starting again, sequencing of the ones, it's spirit messages and angel guidance. Also, 111 is the emergency number here in New Zealand, how it's 999, 911 in different places. The 111 is also urgency, like I need to express myself now, I need to act now. So that's also needing to be applied somehow in your life. Spirit said this week, hold on to your vision. So this is the plan, okay? It could be a everyday practical plan, it could be a bigger spiritual plan. Knowing that you are at the center of the power needed to get things done that frees everybody. Don't know what that means for you. I know what that means for me. Perception is being shifted and you have the freedom to perceive as you wish. Do you want power or do you want pain? You can convert that pain to power. Life has felt like an initiation for a while, and these tests are leading us to so much more. The energy of both the mother and the father come in this week, because the third eye tarot that I saw was the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is all about that fire energy, the vision, the honoring who you are, the entrepreneur. But then we also need to be able to know our feminine side, which is the love and the creation. So it's a balance this week, but being led by the masculine inside of us to get stuff done. And the grace of the feminine to let go and be in the flow. So it's going to be that balance a little bit, but the masculine energy is slightly ahead for whatever reason. It's probably why Krishna's energy is coming through to me so strongly. The leader and the entrepreneur in you will have some ideas to execute, and you'll need to use your masculine power to be decisive and as powerful as you need. Your feminine power will help you create what you're leading through and getting to that place of freedom and grace, leaving all things and people behind that don't serve you and are for your greatest good and those who you're trying to protect or trying to help, your family, your friends, your whoever. So the people with selfish intentions, they might not be having such a great abundant time at the moment, and they're trying to cause harm or hurt, but it's for us to be able to love them anyway and let it go. Do what is right, stick to your vision, stick to your plan, and be committed to the process. This whole month of July, gosh, I can't believe it's going to be August. Now I realize why I did the grounding protection healing meditation as the monthly healing this month. And it's because all of these disruptions that we've been having, chaos in the mind, chaos in the body, chaos externally, upheavals, it's all to restabilize us. So we needed that grounding protection in order to be able to handle the disruptions and have no excuses to be in resistance or in survival mode, but to express ourselves completely fully. This month has needed boldness, it's needed gentleness, it's needed leadership, and it's needed for us, this energy of July, to restore the feelings of passion, because it may be passion for justice, passion for fairness, passion for feeling safe in your life, which is our birthright. And that is why I have the freedom to have what is rightfully mine. Peace, freedom, all of those things. We're going to take a moment now. Please close your eyes if you are not driving. And we're going to bring in Krishna's energy, blessing us with the peacock feather to allow ourselves to shine in a way that is beautiful, that shows you that you are the rare gem that you are, to be able to stabilize your emotions and express yourself, and also to be able to feel free, to be able to claim what is yours without pain or being a victim, to be committed to your path, to be able to be recognized for who you really are. I have the freedom to have what is rightfully mine. Remember, if you need me and you need support in any way, there's many ways to connect with me. I appreciate your patience for all of those who are waiting and understand that this work is taxing on me and I need time to come back to myself so that I can go again and help as many of you as possible. Honestly, it all comes from a really, really good heart. It's just that there's only so much I can do. So that's why there's so many ways to have contact with me and to be healed in some way. We're all on this journey together. I'm a human being as well. And I'm wishing you this wonderful week with the presence of Krishna in your life. soul33@gmail.com if you need any help.